And today is the day many have been fighting for, Danita, for years.
Yes, they have. Recreational marijuana sales start this morning. 98 dispensaries across our state, including the local ones you see on your screen right now, can start selling marijuana today. So we have team coverage of everything you need to know about today's sales and the impact it will have on our region. And we're going to kick things off with David Greenberg.
Yeah, guys, good morning. I'm here outside the Rise dispensary in Lakewood, where in just a couple hours from now, they will be open to the public and able to sell that recreational marijuana legally for the first time ever. But if you are heading out, do want to let you know a couple of guidelines from the state's Division of Cannabis Control. Take a look at some of those here. You must be 21 years of age or older and possess a government-issued ID in order to purchase, possess, grow, or even use it for non-medical purposes. Secondly, non-medical consumers cannot buy more than 10 whole-day units combined. For example, you'll only be able to buy an ounce of weed in plant form or 10 packs of edibles, less than 1,100 milligrams of THC total. Third, you're not allowed to use the product in public spaces. We spoke with one dispensary owner who says his business could increase nearly tenfold.
We're going from 165,000 active purchasers in the Ohio program to far more than a million.
And with a lot more users comes big money as well. Want to check in with our Candace Hare, who is also live with more of our team coverage on these economic impacts. Candace?
Thank you, David. Yes, it feels like we've been hearing about the possible economic impacts of recreational marijuana being legalized since before it was even voted on by the public. And a recent Ohio State University study shows that the tax revenues from adult use cannabis here in Ohio could potentially be upwards of $400 million. But where will that money go? We have to go back to issue 2 to sort that out, because that's where all of this was laid out. So essentially, there's going to be a 5.75% state sales tax on marijuana, and then there's also going to be a 10% excise tax. That 10% tax is going to be divvied up in a couple of ways. 36% of it is going to go to the Cannabis Social Equity and Jobs Fund. That is intended to help people who maybe have been impacted by the criminalization of marijuana. 36% will go to the host community cannabis fund. That's for the benefit of municipal corporations or townships that have dispensaries. They're able to use that how they would like. 25% will go to the substance abuse and addiction fund to support the efforts of the Department of Mental Health and Addiction Services to alleviate substance and opiate abuse, also to do some research in that area. And then 3% will go to the Division of Cannabis Control and Tax Commissioner Fund. That is just to support that division's operations. And those funds, they add up when local dispensaries say that they expect a business to absolutely boom, as you just heard there from David. But the impacts of this are so wide-ranging. Coming up at the bottom of the hour, we're going to talk about how the legalization of recreational marijuana has really impacted the potential for creating jobs. But before we get to that, we're going to head over to our Isabel, who's going to be talking about how Highway Patrol is handling this.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Candace. So in terms of safety, driving a car while under the influence or while using is still illegal. And Ohio State Highway Patrol troopers say it's equally as unsafe as being drunk. Officials say the agency is anticipating an increase in drug-impaired driving.
It's going to be an increased availability, but it's just like alcohol. And that's what we need folks to really understand is, that it is equally as unsafe to, consume any substance that's going to impair your ability to operate a motor vehicle safely and then get behind the wheel.
Troopers made 739 marijuana-impaired arrests in all of Ohio last year. And we will have continuing coverage of recreational marijuana sales in Ohio throughout the morning. You can also find more information on our website, wkyc.com.